Greetings, Geechlings. Geechin Prime here with my review of One Piece, Chapter 866. Natural Born Destroyer. Okay, it's good that I actually wrote that in my notes because I can't remember the names of these things to save my life. Anyway, okay, first it's revealed via Oda Box. Big Mom's a human. This brings some questions. How the fuck is she this big as a 5-year-old? But not really. I mean, we've seen big humans before, but this is still kind of ridiculous. I mean, usually they grow into that. You know, human-sized kid, normal-sized kid, human-sized kid. Oh, yes, it's a human-sized kid. But anyway, I don't know why she's that big. And apparently she's quite strong as based on everything we learned from this chapter. Oh, God. Anyway, we see the scene where 5-year-old Big Mom, it's kind of funny calling her Big Mom as a 5-year-old, but hey, this is One Piece. She's already a freak at this point. She was abandoned by her parents. Apparently she had caused quite a few casualties back home, in whatever homeland she originates from. Because the captain that was on the ship that was with them, they kind of just tricked her and was like, "Here, eat all the candies you want. Well, you know, Mama and Papa are gonna go off and do business, and we'll be back." They never came back. But yeah, then there was kind of a nice little flashback that showed Broggy and Dory when they left from the, as now apparently they're called the Giant Soldier Pirates. Okay, and you know that was like 100 years ago, which to be honest does not make a lot of sense. Either it was 100 years from that point, which is 63 years from the present day, so that is 163 years. Oh, to do the math, really? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just how it was done, and I just don't comprehend it. Correct me in the comments. I mean, I don't mind being schooled, let's say. But and then sometime later, it seemed like it could have been a long period of time after the disbanding, kind of the giant soldiers, that 4 of them who had been off their guard got captured by the Marines and were up for execution. Enters at that point Sister Caramel. She saves them and then says it's like, you know, this will, like, if you kill them, it's just going to be revenge. They're going to come, kill us all. We're going to want revenge against them. It's just the cycle of violence. Let's just end it now. I'll lead them back to Elbaf. And that's what she did. At some point, that's where she gets the name Holy Mother, which was mentioned at the beginning of the chapter, because the captain of the ship that left Big Mom said that the Holy Mother will save her. And that's the case. Or she's just called Mother, you know. And she opened Lamb's House, which is basically an orphanage for basically any kind of children. There's no restrictions based on race or anything, so that's very nice. Which automatically clues you into why Big Mom made Tot Land the way she did, or the way it does, how it is, and why she wants that to be that way. Well, anyway, it is. I didn't even read the Oda box or the box based on or in that page, but it's 37 years after Lamb's House founding is when we meet Big Mom, which then it connects into the first page of the chapter. And that's when Caramel meets Big Mom, or Lin Lin as they like to call her at this point. Let's see. Get a little further down in my notes. Shit, I went too far. But yeah, following this, she does join, though some of the kids are rather horrible to her, but hey, kids can be the cruelest of humans. Big Mom actually experiences a period of happiness because there are giants everywhere. And it's like everything's in proportion to me. Which is something she's never experienced, given that she was like 5 times bigger than her parents. But, and this was my favorite part of the chapter, was the Mr. Bear and Mr. Wolf part. I laughed my head off. Where it was like, Lin, what did you do? I was like, oh, Mr. Bear and Mr. Wolf, they were fighting, and you tell me no one should ever fight, so I put them in a cage so they could become friends. And then Mr. Wolf got eaten by Mr. Bear, so then I had to give him a spanking. It's like, how hard did you hit him? Because he was dead on the ground. And I was like, just once. So essentially a light disciplined slap killed a bear. This is a 5-year-old girl, people. Oh, a human girl, but nonetheless, ridiculous. But yeah, that was my favorite part. But then we have, later, Big Mom tries to help some of the other orphans by removing extra body parts, such as a third arm tribe member who, to get rid of that extra length of his arm, then a fishman, or a merfolk as the translation went, to remove their fins. But Caramel was like, no, they're supposed to be that way. I forgive you. Not really her place. If you watch Sunpatch 94, she gives a rant about the parenting style in this chapter. It was good. You should go watch it. But, yeah. And this can only possibly be the reason why Big Mom loves Caramel so much. Because she was always forgiving her regardless of what she did. No matter how horrible the thing was. There is no discipline for this child. Only love. Well, anyway, 10 months later, exactly how long she was with them before, I guess that would have been, yeah. But, yeah, stupid question. Stupid. Anyway, we see a younger, and I'm going to butcher this name, Omio and Kashi. We met them. They were the guards of Enies Lobby, the 2 giant guards. They were discussing with the 3rd giant, who we didn't get the name of, about their 2 bosses, Dory and Brogy, and how that it had been 40 years since that whole incident where they left the crew to have their little duel. And I was like, we'll give them another 10 years. Yeah, we kind of know where that leads those 2, sadly. And then, this is another name I'm going to butcher. Young, Hudruden. The gladiator giant. The one that we met in, Dressrosa. Who's now part of the Grand Fleet and all that stuff. How old he is, I don't know at that point. I'd say he's 100 or so by the present day. And he was saying like Brogy and Dory will return to revive the giant soldiers' crew. And following this, we are introduced to the 2 former captains. I guess the giants always have 2 captains. But, Mountbeard and Fallbeard. I don't even want to try and say their first names because I think they were, it was spelled wrong. So I'll just stick with their last names. And boy, did they have some beards. They praised Caramel for her talk of trade and whatnot, but they also think the way of the warrior needs to be preserved, which then they praised Hajruden for. And, but then it's, someone asked them, what are you guys doing down in the village? And it's like, they've come to gather the children for the, Simla, which is a sweet dough covered in marzipan, whipped cream, topped with powdered sugar, which is a last meal before the fasting for the solstice festival, which I think. I don't even know exactly how long it lasts. I was told 14 days, which is quite a long time. I don't. But anyway, the 3 days. Our Big Mom freaks out after eating it. Obviously, this is Big Mom we're talking about. And they had a time controlling her, but she did make it 3 days. On the third day, well, actually, she made it longer than that, but on the third day after into the fast, Mother Caramel explains how the solstice festival thing works. It celebrates the death and rebirth of the sun during the harsh winter, and then how it will return in spring and, the like. And finally, on the seventh day, all hell breaks loose. Girth, if I'm saying that name right, is a little giant girl that we've seen a few times throughout the chapter. She's actually one of the giants that kind of, I guess, first saw Big Mom as she first joined Lamb's house. She runs to Caramel to inform her that the village has been destroyed by Big Mom. That includes beating up numerous warriors. We saw a few bodies. Adult giant warriors. A 5-year-old beat them. This is ridiculous. And this is all just for her desire for Shimla. And Fallbeard prepares to cut her down, which obviously we know is probably not how that's going to work out, because she's alive 63 years later. But, oh god, well, this is definitely setting up things now, isn't it? I don't quite know why Caramel eventually leaves, because, Big Mom did mention, why did you leave? It was like, maybe it was impotence for, what Big Mom had done to the island. Though you have to wonder, what happened to Big Mom? Was she just exiled or something? I don't know. But, yeah, got some answers, didn't get, and still more questions. So, good chapter. I enjoyed it. I gave it a 5 out of 5. But after watching Sunpatch's review of it, I definitely see, rereading it, the parenting issues that arose in this chapter. You had scores of giants. You could have given this child a little bit of a discipline, right? But no. But anyway, great chapter. I recommend anybody read it, and I'm sure the next one will probably be just as good. Oda definitely deserved and used that break well. But anyway, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Tieflings, roll out.